Hey, what's up, guys? So basically, I've kind of come to a weird place where I don't really want to write anymore. Not necessarily, writing, but I want to really be able to. I want to be able to have my emotions, the type of things that I'm thinking about, the type of things that I'm feeling, like just that raw emotion of it. Like I really want that to come out. And I don't feel like it's really doing that in my writings anymore. Not that my writing's getting worse, but I don't feel like I'm really kind of getting to the heart of it. So kind of what I thought I would do now is kind of write down the things that I'm thinking about, and then come back and talk about them, and then maybe in that stream of consciousness, like something will come out that kind of explains it a little bit better. I've always found that writing something and then talking about it with somebody, I always got completely different results from both of them. You kind of write it, forget about it, post it, and then you look at it like a week later and you realize that, okay, well, like 50 people have read this, or 10 people have read this, or nobody's read this. And out of those 50 people that read it, how many times do you actually get feedback from that? People that kind of let you in on what they thought about what you had to say, and you don't really find that, and you really get that positive feedback when you talk to somebody. And I don't really necessarily need to talk to somebody, but maybe in, like I said, that stream of consciousness, maybe something will come out that will kind of help me make better sense of it all. And obviously not everybody likes to read. I'm not somebody that likes to read, so maybe this will be a little bit easier for people to kind of, or maybe it'll be a little bit easier for me to kind of invite people into my thoughts and give you guys kind of a better idea of whatever is going on. So what I did was I basically just wrote a bunch of stuff down, and so if you see my eyes kind of drop down and you see me kind of do that left to right, it's obviously I'm reading it, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. I've never done this before, so I'm not really expecting too many great things from it, but yeah, I have a lot on my mind, so I'll just kind of get some of it out. So yeah, I'll just start reading it. There's a lot of talk and not a whole lot of action from a lot of people in my life right now. I'm deemed as the unstable one, the careless one, the live for the moment, but in reality, like, who are you to tell me how to live my life? And in what fucked up kind of way is anybody allowed to tell somebody how to live their life? We're all given this amazingly blank canvas. We can do anything we want. We can make life completely our own, and we should kind of at least hold ourselves to the standard that nothing is impossible. And I've certainly proved to at least myself that with a little creativity, like, I can work just about any job that's out there. I've had something like 20 jobs, ranging from everything from computer work to lifeguarding, retail stores, restaurants, everything. And it just blows me away because I'm no more qualified than any other person. I'm certainly no more qualified than people that are way older than me, people that have done more than me, but for whatever reason, like, just applying myself, I can do anything. Sports wise, like, if you just apply yourself, you can accomplish unbelievable things. And it blows me away that more people are so scared to try and fail, or to try and then have that option of failure, or to have that outcome of failure, that it keeps them from wanting to try something in the first place. And it just, like, it sucks because you never really realize what there could be in store for you. Like, the people like Tiger Woods, like, had he never tried golf, where would it be? Where would he be in his life right now? He kind of stumbled upon it. Yeah, he's been doing it since he was a little kid, but people, Shaun White, for example, like, guys that are predominantly he's predominantly a snowboarder, but he can turn around and throw a skateboard underneath him and go to the X Games and fucking win the gold medal. Like, it's one of those things, like, life should be more about the things that you try and the things that you experience, rather than just sticking to like one thing and just doing that your whole life. Like, I don't believe that's a life that I want. Getting back to my point though, it pisses me off to see people of no greater standing in this world attempting to be leaders by bossing other people around, telling them how they have to live, what they have to do, how to do it, half the time not even adhering to their own advice. How is that leadership? Leadership is by example, not by running your fat mouth and barking orders. I see it within my own group of friends, judgments from people on how or what I do in my life, maybe not always openly. Maybe they do have traits within themselves to just kind of come out and say what they're thinking, but I was kind of cursed with that ability to kind of read people and, within seconds know exactly what they're thinking and be able to see their judgments, even though they're trying to hide them. I've kind of found out that, within the last like 21 years, I've been through more and I've kind of done more than almost everybody that I know. And there's judgments that go along with that. Oh, well, he's a show off, or oh, he's this or he's that, or he's rebellious because he doesn't follow the rules. He doesn't stick to that standard protocol of what a clean cut Orange County kid should be. Even though I'm not an Orange County kid, but my life is my life. I'm not going to stop living it the way that I want to live it to fit somebody else's mold, because as the saying goes, you can't make everybody happy all the time. Inevitably you're going to piss somebody off, and if I compromise who I am for somebody else, then that unhappy person, that person that gets pissed off, is me. And it seems like such a simple conclusion, but it's taken me a really long time to figure it out. And people always say like, oh yeah, I live my life for me, but it's a total cop-out, because people are all talk. No one really lives their life exactly how they want. They give in to societal, parental, cultural, gender, peer pressures, everything, to conform to this invisible image of what life should be, what it should look like. And all the while the person struggles really to find themselves and to really let that inner person out, because they're always kind of having to tone everything down or change certain things, kind of be different a little bit. So then it kind of gives way to suppression. It leads to you trying to fit this particular mold. Like, it leads to sweeping it under the carpet. Looking for the biggest drug that you can get, getting a broom, sweeping it under the carpet, and people hold back those emotions, the thoughts, the ideas, actions, words based on public reaction or based on how they think their friends will react. Why? Why on earth should you have to censor yourself for the sake of others? A shining example of that is with relationships, romantic relationships. You see it all the time. One person has an issue with the other person, and instead of just sitting down with the person and just saying, hey, look, I have an issue with this, or I have an issue with that, or I really don't like what you did this, or I really did like the way you did this. Like, instead they just sweep it under the carpet. They let it go. They hide it, and when the next issue comes up, break out the broom, get the rug, get back to sweeping, just put it right back under there. And before you know it, you have enough ammunition, you have enough stuff built up to fight a small war. And that's what happens. The person is all out of space under the rug, and everything comes out. Everything comes out, and relationships always seem to end because both people get butt hurt. One because they didn't tell them about it while it was happening, the other because they had to keep it in so long, and then what? It happens to be in just about every single relationship, romantically, that I've been in, where I try to fit the mold of being somebody I'm not to try and please that other person. Then when I get tired of the act, I've suddenly changed, and I'm no longer the guy that they started dating. And what? For what? Why am I having to change who I am to please somebody else? For a couple of months of, great times, to have somebody love me and care about me. Why can I not just be myself? And certainly, everything that goes into playing that role, what is it worth? Certainly not worth all the heartache that comes afterwards of, breaking up and everything that goes on with that. It just, you really just lose sight of things. And okay, so getting to the point of all this stuff is about, I have a lot of points, and I don't know if I'm really stringing them together very well or not, but what's the point of all this? Life can't really be about pleasing the person next to you. Life can't be expecting the person next to you to try and morph into someone that pleases you. What we all need to do is just stop the act, stop the lies, stop the fake little facades that we all put up every day, and just be real. The feeling of being liked or loved for who you really are surpasses anything fake life could bring.